What we're really struggling with across all the media is who has the right to distribute what and who's going to pay for it. How much is a copy worth? How much is live access to something? Television was by no means a sure bet. It's not a sure bet of who's going to pay for the content of the future. But I feel comfortable making the forecast that if you have a compelling story and you can get people's attention, there's going to be what's known as advertising and sponsorship. What we have, and what Europe did intentionally, they moved from a variety of regional currencies, state currencies, to one supranational currency, the euro. They expose themselves all to the same risks. And all of us that participate in this one type of money system, this one type of economic or agricultural system, if the system goes down, we all get very scared. This is what happened after 2008, that people said, oh, it's all going to fall apart. And then you had hundreds of millions of people implicated in the same problem that, that started in the banking sector or housing. This is kind of strange.
In terms of athletes, we see it in terms of students, but then you see Fareed Zakaria, who now who's admitting that parts of his article were plagiarized. Why is this now expanding into all elements of our life? This is not just about sports. It's not just about schools. It really feels like it's about everyone.
If I could add some macroeconomic perspective on this.
As long as it's not boring.
As long as it's not boring. No, it'll be about getting rich or being...
I'm interested. Go ahead.
There we are. About 10 years ago, Robert Reich wrote a book called Supercapitalism. And it was the dollar sign with a snake on it. And the long and short of his book was, we're coming to a place where it's just not good enough to do a good job and you'll be prosperous and not anxious all the time. You're either going to be a superstar or you're going to be a sucker.
Ow.
We were talking about whether austerity is a politically, desirable thing if people are going to resist it, or if we're going to need it eventually anyhow, as Mr. Cheer says. Well, one of the reasons that it's so politically unviable is that most of our leaders aren't giving us an option as to what comes after it. It can't just be we negotiate the wages and standard of living down for 98% of the population, say, too bad, guys, we need to do this, without saying, and you know what, if it's tough for a few years, here's what we're going to have. We're going to have a return to small and local businesses. We're going to build infrastructure that allows us to deal with peak oil and climate change, and we're going to take care of old people in a dignified manner as these new demographic trends come in the next 10 to 20 years. We're not hearing that from our leadership. We're hearing we need to prop up the institutions that are already here. We need to make sure that the big winners who are already winning keep winning. Oh, and by the way, you guys need to tighten the belt for a few years. It's no wonder that you're getting protests in Lisbon and Madrid. It's not a very good sell.